And there's our old, there's where all the food was delivered, right down here at the railroad track. One time there was 35 stores in Linton. 35 little stores. At one time, and I said this on TV the other morning, Linton had in late 19s, had 12,000 people. We had more people in Linton than what Terre Haute did at the time. So we were a bigger city than Linton. I mean, bigger city than Terre Haute. So, but all our food come from the supply places from up there. And I know that Ralph Whitty told me his grandmother and grandfather had 2 stores. They started one and they went to start the other one. When they did, Ralph said they needed $500 worth of stuff to fill the store. They had to send one wagon back. $500 filled that whole new store, and there was still so much that they couldn't even store all of it. They sent one wagon back to Terre Haute. So anyhow, so this is the old railroad, and that's where you went about everywhere. Yeah, this is the old hotel. This is Wolford's. And I don't know if everybody knows, back years ago, when these guys had a mine, a lot of times they would be involved in a store. Well, Wolford's was involved in the mining industry, and they also, so they started a store. They might as well get the guys' labor and then turn around and get them for merchandise. So they got, you know, they recycled their money right in among themselves. So basically, and they had a company store here, and it, say for instance, say on Tuesday you spent all your money on the weekend, and Tuesday you were working, but you ran out of money. Still around Linton, there's these little coins that are around there. Let's say $1, $5 on them, and basically those coins are. They'll say Wolford Brothers. Well, they can be used here at the store. So you work for them. You can go back here where you got your money. The back office was back here. We'll stop there in just a second. And anyhow, you go in there and say, "Hey, I'm short money. I need $5 till the weekend till I get paid." Okay, sign your name and everything, and come up here. They give you a flicker. You go in here and buy your stuff, merchandise or whatever. Get your change back, whatever you had. And then come Friday, payday, then you had a $5 flicker on Tuesday. So they'll take that out of your money. So that's how they kind of work. So they also had their own, and then on top of that, if you went to borrow money there, where you got to spend it there at their store. That's just another catch to get you in there.
Yep.
Yeah, good marketing.
You've seen that? Yeah.
And then this building was huge. They had up front, we won't go around that way, but up front was a huge stairway. I mean, it was like 10, 12 feet wide and went up to the second floor. And if you look at all the windows up here, see, they didn't have real good lighting. So they have all these buildings got a lot of windows. That's the reason they're in there, because lighting was not that good. So all the buildings, and a lot above a lot of the buildings, and even some of the ones around the side here, you can see the stain or the glass above them, so the light will come in the building. So that's the reason that's in there. In fact, over there at a couple buildings, you can see where we've covered it up. But actually, the one where the old Sears Roebuck was, down there in green, you got the awning. Above that metal work, that's all leaded glass under there. But that was open, and they also, if it had too much sunlight or it was too hot, they would have awnings, and the awnings would crank over. I'm sure a lot of you remember that, seen the awnings.
Didn't the library start up here on the second floor? The Linton Library originally was on this second floor.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah, that was originally.
Before they built the Carnegie.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right. Here's another picture of a flourishing day. Not very good, but it would show the building over there across the street.
Remember the Murphy? You send money up to
on the rope. Side,
I remember
that was a drugstore. That was the Elkhorn drugstore, and that was owned by, that was a Sherwood property. Sherwood was in coal business, and there's a picture of the guys working there. It was not a very big store, but and actually they put a lot of stuff back to original. Here's a picture of Tom Wall's uncle. He died a year or so later after that picture, but that's the conditions in the coal mine. Let me get a drink. Talk to him. I just noticed something I've never noticed. Yes, sir. I just see, that's the thing. Every day you learn something new. Right above us, right over there, there's a pulley. There was an arm that went out there. Years ago, the police didn't have walkie-talkies. And on the other, down in the other building down there that's on the corner, that's empty, you'll see bars sticking out. And there was a light on that. They needed them over at the police department. That light would come on. And it wasn't like the guys running around in truck cars today. They walked the beat. They didn't have walkie-talkies. They could look up there those lights, and if that light was on or that light down there was on, they knew they needed to get back. Something's went on. So that's how they kept information with them. I just looked up, I never even noticed that.
Daryl told me that a long time ago.
It had an arm out there.
Yeah,
That's
Daryl
what
told me
that's for,
that.
because I've got pictures of this, and it didn't have a sign out there.
That signal?
no, that's before their day. Okay, and here's another picture of this building before it was a Citizens National Bank, and that was actually I think that was a grocery on that end, and then the drugstore was right by it. I'm going to pull us all down a little ways down here to the. So be ready to take just a little short ride, okay?
Be on it on a lot of these buildings.
Huh?
Used to be on it.
We talked about
Yeah.
the dry goods there. DR Scotch, again, I don't know if I said that, I don't remember saying it earlier today, but that was fine ladies' mentionables and lace. And if you wanted to find fine cloth or bedding or such, that was his specialty. Later in years, that was Fish's jewelry store. Fish's had that actually during the Depression. One of the cool things about that is that's got one of the prettiest basements underneath that you've ever seen. It's built just, Mr. Fish always did things extra perfect because he was a jeweler. He actually had some guys during the Depression, 2 guys, and for a job, they dug the basement out underneath that building. And it's as neat a basement as you've ever been. It's got a bathroom down there, and we had it all fixed up because they didn't know what was going to be happening, so they put a restroom down there. There's a facility, actually a guy could live down there. But it was all done by hand. They dug it out by hand. Took the dirt out. Pretty impressive job. But you know, people were looking for work, and I really think people, you know, they didn't have all the modern stuff anymore. They were tough, you know, so they didn't think anything of it. Same thing with Correll's, your building down here. Fred Gillett in the blue building where Key Associates at right now. Fred Gillett went in there in one day, and they got it prepared, and he poured the whole concrete for the whole building in one day himself. He made the concrete, poured the concrete, finished the concrete. It was late in the night before he got done. He did it all by himself. And I'll tell you what, that concrete before we went to work on it was just not a crack in it, just as smooth as could be. Very impressive work. Got a lot of hard work. Today it would take 10 guys to do what he did in one day. So those kind of things are pretty neat, you know? Let's see, what else did we talk about here? Then we talked about that. Also where the Tan Gourmet Coffee was, that was a little downtown grocery store for years. And then it turned into the Goodwill store. And now John's got that, and in fact, we're getting ready to revitalize that and paint it up and fix it up. So, you know, part of our rediscovering downtown Linton. So that's another thing. We're going to go down here to get into the good stuff. Okay? Some of the good stories.
Shade maybe? Shade maybe?
I think I'll tell you about the shoot to kill song.
Oh!
Have you heard that one?
No!
I got a good one that you know very few people know.
Oh my!
A lot of third graders do.
I seen him over the other day.
Y'all ready?
Uh-huh. Hey.
All right. I'm going to tell you one of my favorite stories. This is absolutely true.
Nope,
You won't believe it. You won't believe it. No, it is. This is 100% true. I've got the backing of this. There was a guy that did a doctorate degree on this thing. Years ago, this was a livery stable or a harness. They worked on harness here in this building. And upstairs was the new Linton phone company. When phones developed in the 20s, the phone company, there was girls that worked up there, okay? And the conditions, it's a neat building upstairs because the one wall's the original brick and all the timbers. And if you're a carpenter and you go into any of these buildings, you really appreciate the lumber that's in these buildings. That's why they're 100 years old. Everything you see on that wall over there is 100 years old. Plus, those buildings there of ours is 1908. So, and now we put this, I helped put this bay window in here, but the guys that we sold it to, they wanted that in there. But anyhow, before there was just 2 windows there. During that time, you couldn't even get a radio down here really good. So for one of the entertainments there was a big home over there where the Hamilton girls built that double, but City Hall is now. There's a big home there, okay, and a big front lawn. One of the entertainments was baseball. Linton had its own baseball team. They had their own professional baseball team. Switch City had theirs. They had professional, and it was war when they went to play, you know, and they were good. These guys were not, this was younger gentlemen, but not kids. These were grown-ups. So anyhow, this building was here. Well, for entertainment, they would call in the old national baseball games, Yankees and all those. They would call in and get them online. And then there would be some kids that would stand up there and would report to the people standing over there, and they would take and sit on the grass over there, and they would have picnics and everything else. And one of the kids that was up there was Dr. Ed Bailey, the original Ed Bailey, and he was one of the kids when he was a kid up there, and he would report, hey, so Joe Smith's on first base, and then go through that, and that was the entertainment. That's how they learned about the baseball game. Well, he even got to the point they even devised, and I'd love to find it. I know it's got to be somewhere. A board that he fixed up, since there was electricity up there. They had a board that had all the things on it, the whole diamond with a light on each one. And if somebody was on first, the light would be on, and then if there was 2 on, 2 lights would be on. And if it was a home run, they had some sort of way where they would run that. So Bailey and a couple other guys devised that thing, and they used it up there.